moving on, we will now study BWP operations regarding, you can say, selection or switching. I suppose this much is clear. This which I suppose is clear. So there is something called bandwidth part selection or switching. Actually, you have already learned about some of these. Okay. So first, interesting one, it can happen through DCI by PDCCH. Okay. By PDCCH, that is DCI, effectively DCI. So DCI has a field of bandwidth part indicator in DCI 01 and 11. In DCI 01, this is for uplink, and DCI 11, it has a field called BWP indicator. So using that, G node B can change the active BWP of a UE. Suppose UE was working in a BWP X and it had narrow bandwidth, and suddenly the data requirements of UE became high, and G node B decided that it's time that UE should be switched to another BWP with a bit wider bandwidth. So UE can indicate via PDCCH that okay, this is your DCI, but this is your bandwidth indicator. So switch to this bandwidth part, and you will be working there henceforth. So that is one way, simple I would say, right? Second one is BWP inactivity timer. You have already studied that. Okay, BWP inactivity timer. So basically, this timer is configured, and UE keeps running this timer. And if their inactivity happens, okay, nothing is happening, then this timer will expire at some point of time. And once this timer expires, UE will switch to default DLBWP. So that is another form of switching. Third part is by RRC signaling. Bandwidth switching can happen through RRC signaling. We have again already studied that RRC reconfiguration can enforce a BWP switch by providing an active BWP ID. So RRC setup was providing a BWP ID, and upon the completion of RRC reconfiguration procedure, you is supposed to switch there. But at any given point of time, RRC can send an RRC reconfiguration to a UE and say, okay, you have to switch the BWP. So it can happen at the level of RRC via RRC reconfiguration. So basically, RRC reconfig can enforce a BWP switch. As we all know, the RRC reconfiguration is a multi-purpose message. It is used during initial attach, it is used during handover, it is used for measurements also. So this is one other use. And the fourth one is by MAC entity itself. MAC entity can trigger BWP switch upon initiation of random access. Why? Okay, I suppose you all know a little bit about it, that random access can only be done as per some configuration that is provided to a UE. So let's suppose UE was in some active BWP, but that BWP does not have any PRAG configuration. I mean, UE does not have any PRAG configuration in that BWP. Maybe that BWP does not house any PRAG channel, the UL BWP. In such a case, suppose the RLF happens or UL sync loss happens and RRC re-establishment procedure is triggered. So in such a case, random access will be initiated, but UE does not have any random access configuration for that particular BWP. So of course, I mean, it makes sense. UE will switch to another BWP for which it has uplink configuration, right? So it's kind of forcing UE's hand to switch the BWP. So UE's MAC entity will take it upon it to switch the BWP. So this is it for today. This is all I have prepared on this topic. Please reach out to me if you have any questions or if you would like to have any discussion.